Hey guys, I hope that you feel great. I feel great. Today, I replied to a question that I received from a really good supporter and a good friend. His name is
Axel Spiky!
And he is asking me what I use to record the bass guitar on my songs. So these days I always use this 5-string bass. I really like the bonus string, the 5th one, because it's so deep. And when we get used to this string, it's so powerful. I just spit. But even before we speak about gears, what really changed the sound of a bass, it's the way that you play. So depending of which pickup you're gonna use on the bass, it's gonna sound really different. So if I play only with this pickup and that my fingers are also closer, and now I'm gonna switch to this one. So just by switching of pickup, it really changed the sound. And when I blend them together, for some reason, I don't really like the sound from it. So I often choose more one or the other, because when I use both, it's like if the tone disappears a little. Also, depending if you play with fingers or if you use a pick, it's also gonna change a lot the sound. So depending of how you play, you're always gonna get a different sound. So each person have a different style, and that's why it's so important to start focusing on the way you play instead of the gears that you use. And now about recording, I'm not using this bass amp. Hello? There is a lot of people who use a microphone in front of the amp or go directly from the line out to the audio device. I'm not a fan of using a microphone because I never get really happy with the result. So let me show you what I use. I'm using this magic box, the SoundZamp ParaDriver DI. So my bass goes directly inside of it, and it's some kind of preamp, so I can really shape the sound of the bass. There is equalizer. I have a drive, so I can add saturation to my sound, so it takes more space. I can also shape the mid frequencies, and this is great, so the bass is not taking the space of other instruments in the mix. And if you don't have the chance to buy this magic box, you can download a plugin from TSE Audio, and it's some kind of emulation of this tiny box. And even if it's not exactly the same sound, you can get really good result, and it's free.
It's free?
Yes, it's free! So you have no reason to not download that plugin. And now we're gonna move to the computer because I want to show you what I do next. So let's move! Now that you recorded the bass and that it sounds good, usually you don't need to do so much more on the computer after because you already have a good sounding bass. The key to make the bass really powerful and a good mix is to adjust the equalizer on each track of the mix so you give more space to the bass. So in each track in your mix you're gonna add a low cut to drop some of the really low frequencies, and by doing that you're gonna make more space for your bass. And something that is really important for you to consider is that most of people these days, they don't listen music on super good hi-fi speaker. They listen to music on tiny device like a cell phone, laptop, tiny speakers. So you need to be smart when you mix. This is why I like so much those speakers, because it's easier for me to only focus on mid frequencies. Let's take for example that you drop too much the mid frequencies and the high frequencies. The person who is gonna listen to your music on a cell phone is even not gonna hear the bass. So before you touch too much to equalizer, just be sure that you're not overdoing the equalizer. Also with the low cut, don't cut too much of the frequencies. If you was playing with a 5-string bass and that you was using the biggest string, the sound is gonna go lower than with a 4-string bass. So be careful and don't drop too much. But it's good to use the good low cut so you give more space to the kick if there is a kick in your mix. Most of the time with equalizer, I'm just gonna boost a little around 100 Hz. And it's possible that I need to cut some frequencies around 250 or 300, but it really depends of the project. So my big tip is to be careful with what you do with equalizer. Another good trick is to keep the bass really in the center. Everything that is about really low frequencies like the kick drum, the bass should always be in the middle. So be careful with the effect that you use so it doesn't become messy. So make the bass powerful without touching too much to equalizer. Use your ears. All tracks that has really important low frequencies should be mixed more in the beginning. The bass to me is really important, so I always mix the bass more in the beginning. I hope that you like my tips today. This is how I record the bass. I want to say thank you again to everyone who is supporting me on Patreon. And if you have questions or comments, please write a comment here and somewhere there. And we see each other really soon again. Bye bye!